Lee, you know how to pick a lock, right?
No. Why would you say that?
Well, you're, you know, urban?
Oh, you are not saying what I think you're saying.
Jesus, man, I'm from Florida. Crazy shit just comes out of my mouth sometimes. Sorry.
Welcome back to the Internet Safe Space, episode 29. First thing I'll say is I know ahead of time that we currently have 100 or more subscribers. Lit. Fucking awesome. That's great. Um, First legitimate milestone. There's episode 30 and the 100 subscriber special will be the same episode coming out next Sunday. That's going to be Family Feud. It's huge. We've got 10 people on it outside of myself. So, one of the biggest that I've hosted on the channel. And it's really hilarious, very fun. There's 16 Family Feud questions
A lot of people.
and a lot of people. It's a 5v5, two families. Anyways,
Mm.
I'm back with Alexon. You've seen him on before. He's been here. Me, him, and Grant did a One Piece episode probably about 5-6 weeks back. Alexon, remind everyone who you are.
So, my name is Alexon. I'm one of Tony's good friends from, and I am very excited. He is the individual who introduced me into the topic that we're going to be discussing today. I had no idea that it even existed beforehand. And this is really where I started to get a better understanding of who Tony was, actually. It was very interesting.
Thank you for that. I think a lot of people who enjoy this game would say that it becomes a big part of your personality. Um, if you're watching right now, you've seen the title, so no reason to dance around it. We are doing a tier list of the characters from the Walking Dead games seasons 1 through 4. There's I'll definitely say this. Looking at the list and remembering, there's a lot of shitters in here. And there's definitely a
Oh,
fair amount
yeah.
of people
Shit.
that I don't remember their name. So also, if anytime it seems a little bit choppy, Alexon is fucking eight something states away, and we're on Zoom. So, well, Discord, but whatever. We're not in person, so it's gonna be a little choppy. I know everyone's probably used to the in-person podcast because I've been doing so many. I actually think the last time I did one not in person was the one with you and Grant. It's the last time I did one like this.
Oh, dang.
Because with the Nutley
Okay.
people, I kind of there was no point anymore. Like everybody preferred doing it in person. So, anyways, let me switch the scene
Right.
so the audience can see what we're working with here. So currently, the tier list and Alexon, the tier list that you have that you're looking at, I edited it slightly so it goes goated, S A B C D, irrelevant. Because there's some characters on here that are it's not even that they're like an ass character, they're just so irrelevant that I gave them their own tier at the very bottom.
Right. They mean nothing to the story.
Exactly. They're just kind of worthless. So, and then what we're gonna do is if we need to add tiers, rename tiers, all that stuff. I did that with Luca too. Like we put Geralt and Ciri in their own tier at the very top, like outside of S. Like if anything like that, we'll do it as we go. Like we'll get a feel for it.
We're gonna have a K category.
We're gonna have a what?
A K category.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very
Any
positive.
any fan already knows what we're talking about when we mention a K category, and we're not talking about drugs. So
No, no, we're not. No, we are not.
let's get right into it. And we're
I
starting
agree.
with
I agree.
Vernon. So I'm going to throw him on the screen. Now, what the audience sees is I just throw, every time we do someone, I throw them into B tier to start. Just because it puts them in the middle of the screen just for everyone to see. So we've got Vernon up on the screen. If you played the games, you may not have remembered his name, but you know what he looks like. Um, I'll say something about Vernon to start. He is interesting because when you first encounter him, he's portrayed to be a moral good person. Um, if you when you're playing as Lee, if you threaten him, he'll get him and all his peers will get like really annoyed at you and be like, "That's not what a good person would do." Um, and he talks to you about Clementine saying she should come with me. I could raise her better than you. Basically, always trying to take that moral high ground. And he's an old man. Lee's probably 20 years younger than him, so I'm thinking like 35 to like 55, 60. Like that's like Lee versus Vernon. And I know what it's called. Holier than thou.
Right.
That's what he does, right? And this is what bothers me. And that's what's going to lead into where I think he should be. He does all that just to beat the shit out of whoever was left behind and steal the boat.
Oh, I remember him now. Up until that, I was really really struggling. Like I'm flying through the wiki here to try and remember it, and I remember him stealing the boat. I want to put him in the worst category that we have. Not even irrelevant, like the one above that. But I want to like so we have like do we have F and then irrelevant? Is that it?
No, it's D. It's
D and
SABCD.
then irrelevant. I want to put him in C tier just because that's such a baller fucking move. You like Vernon? That's the coolest shit he could do. He's a scumbag and he's terrible. But there are characters that are worse than him because they're just annoying shitheads who don't do anything cool the whole time, but still
I
take up story.
I I agree with you. I don't think he should be in D because being a villain does not make you bad as a character, right? Like think about it. Doflamingo is like an A tier villain. You're gonna throw him up there,
Agreed.
even though he's a piece of shit. Now, as for Vernon, I actually probably agree with you. I think C is appropriate because D is for like people that like actually just suck, and Vernon doesn't just suck. I just think he's contradictory, and I don't like people that act holier than thou. And it also
Right.
bothers me that the second that Lee leaves to go find Clementine to do the right thing, Vernon
Mhm.
goes into the sewers, assembles his posse, and comes back and beats up a drunk, a kid, a pregnant woman, and a cripple.
Yeah.
As in Kenny,
Which one's the
Ben,
cripple?
Omid, and Krista. Omid, because remember he hurts his leg on the train.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to push him off the train
You don't have
to
to.
save
We
his life.
chose to push him. He'll
To save
jump.
his life, you have to.
Yeah, he'll jump if you don't push him.
Oh, he doesn't. He does. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he just always hurts his
Maybe I
leg.
did.
Like he fucks up the jump. Because like what Lee
Oh,
will say instead of pushing him is he'll be like, "Okay, you can just die then," and then Lee jumps, and then Omid's like, "Fuck it." But we chose to push him because it's hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So a
right.
drunk, a kid, a cripple, and a pregnant woman.
Hmm.
Anyways, we spent way too much time on Vernon. We can put him in C. Um,
Agreed.
okay. Next up, we have Walter.
Walter's
Um,
from season two,
Walter's from season 2. He is part of Kenny's group. Also,
right?
spoiler warning, guys. Sorry. He's part of Kenny's group, and he's the gay one who his lover is the Asian guy, or he might, I don't know his exact race, but he was on the bridge and Nick shoots him in the neck and he falls off the bridge. And then Walter's like, "Oh, my partner should be coming back soon." And the whole time, Clementine's like, "Holy shit, Nick killed Walter's," and they always say Walter's friend, but it was his lover, husband, boyfriend, whatever.
Nick is the guy that Clementine meets early on that like helps her out a lot, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Luke helps her out a lot. Nick is Luke's annoying friend.
Okay. Well,
Now Walter is interesting. Um, he, I think personally, I think he ends up in the same tier as Vernon. He does not fully suck. It's annoying because he goes against you. So naturally you want to say, "Oh, fuck that guy," but also like you did kill his partner. Um, so he has every right to be mad. Um,
Oh
and
yeah, Walter's perfectly fine in C tier, I think.
and then he ends up just getting shot in the head by Carver regardless. Like he has a pretty horrible day. Finds out that his partner's dead and then
Oh,
gets shot in the
yeah,
face.
yeah. Yep.
And up until that point, he's actually very nice. Super nice. Cooks for you, was teaching Clementine, he was very kind.
I
It
think
just
I
kind
put him
of
above Vernon and C.
yes, I agree. I would put him above Vernon because Vernon was a contradictory piece of shit. Walter is a genuinely nice person who got hurt. So
Right.
I agree with you. We'll put him in C tier above
Now we
Vernon.
have AJ.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? I'll let you start. Take the reins on this one. Do like 60 seconds on AJ.
So AJ for me is a contradictory. He's a very conflicting character for me because for the second season, he really is kind of just a plot device where like he doesn't do anything. He's just causing. He just makes things harder. Essentially, is what he does. He makes things harder for season two and season three. He doesn't really develop until season four. He doesn't have any real use. But there are a couple of moments in season four where he had where like the actions that you do with him show him how to work. Like, and I remember very distinctly in season four, he kills someone that was threatening Clementine or maybe Louis. I can't remember. Um, what was the name of the kid that he kills?
Um,
Season four.
he AJ can murder multiple people, but the one that you might be referencing is he can kill 10, the kid with the scar on his face. He can kill 10. He also can kill Lily, and he might be able to kill a third person as well.
I don't remember 10. I remember Marlin.
Oh yeah, he does kill Marlin. Forgot about that. Shoots him. Always kills
Yeah,
Marlin. That's you can't
that's
change
what
that.
I'm talking. I don't
Okay,
remember 10.
that's episode 1. Yeah, 10 is throughout the entire season, but that's okay.
I would put AJ in at least B
I don't like AJ.
at all.
He's really like I get it. They do it the right way. He's supposed to be a kid. He's not supposed to be a super fleshed out amazing character, but he just like sucks to me and like it sucks because like Alvin, like his dad is awesome, but
Yeah, Alvin's a baller.
AJ just he's kind of just like a burden. I guess there's a difference. In season 1, Clementine always you always knew she was a kid, she made mistakes. She never felt like a real burden. AJ has all those same qualities and also feels like a genuine annoying burden the entire time you play. Whereas when you played as Lee, Clementine never gave you that feeling. AJ did.
It feels like
And
I sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say Clementine definitely feels like a burden, but it's a burden that you're really willing to put up with. Not a burden, a hindrance. That's what it is. She's a hindrance. She definitely makes things more difficult, but she's not a burden. It's never like God, you're just a handicap,
There's reward
you
that
know?
comes with it, bare minimum.
Abs- Absolutely.
No reward for
That's
me
a good.
with AJ.
Also, we're never gonna get through this list at the rate we're going.
Yeah, don't worry. There's like 3 in a row coming up that we're going to talk about for less than 30 seconds. They're all from season
Outstanding.
3, the worst season in the series.
Disagree. Actually, yes, I no, I agree. I
What do
just
you mean you
don't think it's bad.
disagree? It's the worst season in the series.
I agree. I was wrong. Um, let's put AJ top of C.
Yes, I 100% could not put him in B, but I think he could probably run the C category. I don't know if anyone else will end up.
What I'll just say about it is that I like the fact that like Clementine is not your average kid, you know? Like she's just not. And she's an awesome character for that. AJ is your average snotty nosed shithead kid. And he does that role very well, like kind of like being a villain doesn't disqualify you. There are some characters that you are made to find annoying and hate, and they do their job super well, versus other characters which you are made annoying not even intentionally, but just of like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna run into a character soon that I think is in D tier, personally, but we'll get to that. All
Right.
right, this is one of Javi's brothers' crew, right? This next person.
Yes. I think her name is Ava. I'm pretty sure. Um, we are going to move by Ava fairly quickly. She's from season 3. Yes, she's part of the whatever, I can't remember the name of the group. She has like a little bit of a history with Clementine. She dies. Um, and
Remember that?
overall, I don't think
The
she
New
adds much.
Frontier.
Yes, a new frontier. She doesn't add much. I didn't think she was super memorable. Besides her character design, which I think is really cool. Other than that, I think that she's very middle of the road, not deserving of D because she doesn't suck, but she's not really memorable, and I personally would put her below Vernon for the amount that I care.
Oh, okay, I was thinking of putting her. No, she's not in the irrelevant category.
No, she's not irrelevant. She's definitely relevant to the story. She's just like so mid, just like okay, like you're a character,
Painfully
you
mid.
look cool. What else you got?
Oh,
She didn't make me love her. I didn't get invested.
okay. Now there's Eleanor.
Oh, you remember you have to say yes, I agree with you on the tier placement.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, we can put her in C. She didn't like meh. We
That's
should
what I'm
have a
saying.
meh
So meh.
category. Let's
Um.
have a meh category between C and D. It's not
Oh,
like it's
yes.
not irrelevant. It's true. It's just like meh. Like it's not that you're irrelevant. It's that I just didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with that. That's a smart. That is smart. I'm adding it right now. So why don't you talk about Eleanor for a couple seconds while I put this together?
So if I'm not sorry. So if I'm not mistaken, um, Lenore is she's with Trip. If I'm not mistaken, Trip is a really cool guy. I remember liking Trip a great deal. I don't remember. I believe Eleanor dies rather quickly, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not in the attack that at that camp that Clementine finds herself at. Sound about right, Tone?
I don't remember her dying, to be honest.
I don't remember anything about Eleanor.
Yeah,
Um,
she was fine. That's why you don't really need to talk about her
meh,
much at all. I would
or
throw
meh.
her. I'd throw her. She has definitely. I'll
Oh
put
wait,
her at
no,
the.
she was the doctor. I forgot she was the doctor of the of the community of Prescott, called Prescott.
Yes, Prescott. Um. Oh, sorry, you cut out.
They're
Say that
kind of
again.
cool. I remember those.
She's cooler than
I
Ava.
remember her significantly. B, bro. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Um. Put her in B. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, yeah. I think I could get behind that because she doesn't annoy me like how she never annoyed me how AJ did, and she was a fine character, but I guess she's a little bit, I'd say she's slightly above average. So she can be in B, sure. I've also changed the D
Yeah.
category. It now says sucky instead of D. So it's
Okay,
A
I'm okay with
it's
that.
goaded, SABC, meh, sucky, irrelevant. All right, back to it.
Agreed.
The next guy. This guy is irrelevant.
Max.
Irrelevant.
Okay.
He doesn't
I don't
like
remember this individual.
he serves the story like he's a plot device of a human being. Overall, he's irrelevant.
Okay.
Omid.
Omid. Is
That
that from the
is
first season?
yes, that is Krista's husband. He dies immediately in season
I
2.
like him because he's goofy. He serves as comic relief.
Omid is very cool. He's a good guy. Um, he is funny. He doesn't you don't get too much time with him, but the time that you get, I really like him. He's got a nice soul, and I think that he would be our first A character.
Really? Okay. I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
Remembering that there's two tiers above it, S and goaded, right? It's not like he's one below the top. He's two below the top. And yeah, there's just there's just nothing wrong with the guy. And he's on the screen, he makes you smile. He genuinely cares, right? And I think that that's
Mhm.
deserving of an A tier.
I agree.
All right.
I agree. Dog.
The dog. Can't believe
A tier.
the dog's even in this. Um
A
the
tier.
dog we can just put in irrelevant because it's an animal
Fine.
and again it's a plot device.
Fine.
I don't remember the dog's name, but I think both of the irrelevant characters might both be named Max so far. You'd have to fact check me.
No, the dog's name Sam.
Sam. I knew it was three letters. All right. Moving on. Irrelevant. That's another guy
This-
from New Frontier. Okay.
Was he not
Next.
the terrible dude who screwed
He
everyone over?
he's irrelevant.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ben. Our first like really main character um from season 1. He was around since episode 2, went through the whole series. Um, even has the chance to make it pretty deep into episode 5, depending on your decisions. You seem like you want to talk about Ben, so go ahead, talk about Ben.
Ben sucks. Ben sucks. He is so lame for the entire story. He is constantly a wuss, has zero survival skills, and brings essentially nothing to the table. The only time I can kind of remember him doing something remotely cool is like it's only an option if you do certain things and like you push him towards it. And eventually he's like, okay, leave me behind, if I'm not mistaken. Right? When they're in the tower.
When you're holding on to him, I'm pretty sure he always tells you to let him go. He's like at the end of his rope, literally at that point. I'm pretty sure he always is like, just drop me. And then you save him and he's like, why would you do that?
That's kind of cool. Is it enough to get him out of D tier?
I think that he is in B, and I'll tell you why. Because I know that shocks you. Because normally I'm not one that like really pays attention to this stuff, but season 1 is one of the best video games to ever exist. So I've analyzed it quite a bit. Ben, and the reason I think Ben ends up in B is because he is like he actually acts like kind of how a real person would. And I appreciate how well they wrote that. And I actually use the same argument for Kenny too. Both him and Kenny act like real people. Different people, but real people. Ben gets scared of the bandits and he starts giving them medicine and then lies about it because he's worried. That's all like super real things that could happen, and would happen in an apocalyptic setting. And what pushes Ben into B for me is what he does if you keep him alive from the bell tower in episode 5. He will tell off Kenny, like actually for once stand up for himself and yell in his face and say, you got to watch your family die. I have no idea where my family is. They could be dead or walkers or worse. That's the quote. Because he never got to see his family. He was at school, locked in the gym when this all went down, and he left with his like coach and one of his friends. That's when you find him. Um, Ben goes through some legitimate character development, and he's also big for Kenny's development too. He makes a lot of mistakes, but he is a kid. He was a senior in high school. He's like 18. Um, you know, I think he ends up in B. He is an example of how intricate and beautifully written the season 1 characters are, whereas season 4 AJ is not a beautifully written character. He's just annoying. There's a difference. There really is.
I I like that. I forgot how young Ben was. To be fair, I really did. I thought he was in college, which even still wouldn't make that much of a difference. I forgot about the Kenny thing. I am okay with putting him in B. I forgot about him standing up to Kenny. I'd be willing to put him above Eleanor.
He's 100% above Eleanor. I'm glad we don't have to argue about that. Eleanor is cool enough, but overall, again, like there was something after season 2, a lot of the characters that showed up didn't feel fleshed out the way season 1 and season 2 characters were. Like Ben, really, they just like in season 2 he feels irrelevant, and then by season 5 he's like in it. I don't even know how to explain it outside of that. He's fleshed. Okay.
Who is
Uh,
this?
her main name might be Brenda. Betty. She's the St. John's, the dairy farm woman. She's a nutcase. She's not irrelevant. She is just. I mean, I think she probably just falls into the meh category. She's not sucky. She's just like she's part of the story. She's there. But she's definitely not irrelevant. She's a major part of the story, for that episode, and she is interesting. But I would say she's just in meh.
Okay. I don't remember her, so let's just move on from
She's the
this.
mom of the brothers that eat everyone. I don't know how you can't remember, but that's fine. No problem. We'll put her in meh, and we'll put her underneath Ava. Next up, don't remember her name, but she is part of Vernon's group. Fun fact about her: her character design is actually from a contest. You entered the contest, and if you won, you would get a character modeled after you with speaking lines, and you would get a custom death scene as well. So fun fact, that's what that character is. Somebody won a contest and got a character modeled after them. She is, in my opinion, actually sucky. This is the first character I'll say is sucky. She's beyond meh because she actually annoys me. She's like constantly up Vernon's ass and basically like being his voice. Like when he's aiming the gun at you, she's like in his ear the whole time, telling him how to think and how to feel. I really, really hate people that do that. I don't like when you try and pretend like it was almost like felt like she wanted to manipulate him because he was so much older than her. Um, Oh, Bree. Her name is Bree. And
Yeah.
she always just holds a pretty negative Nancy attitude the whole time. Do you remember who she is?
Okay. Vaguely.
She's sucky.
Okay, we'll put her in. So she's our first sucky.
Yeah. Next up, we
Yeah.
have Brody from season 4. She is the one that Marlon ends up killing by accident and then blames it on Clementine.
Oh shit! Because she's the one that goes to try to help the teacher or something like that
Um,
downstairs.
no, her and Marlon are just arguing, and he's
Oh,
like, when he's arguing, he definitely kills her by accident. It's an accident, fully. I believe that. He's like arguing, and he's holding his like a flashlight or something, and he like goes to like push her, and he like hits her over the head with it, and it just bashes. He bashes her. Um, she is. I mean, she's meh.
meth.
Yeah, she's not irrelevant. She's part of the story for sure, in a way that I wouldn't feel right putting her in irrelevant. But she's meh. But I think she leads the meh. She was much more enjoyable overall than Ava. And I felt bad genuinely when she died. When Ava died, I was like, okay, like it happened. When she died, when Brody died, I felt bad. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like that's not right. All right, next.
Okay.
Ooh, this one's spicy. Abel, season 4.
Give
Abel
me a
is the
second.
one. He was like Lily's number 2, and you end up capturing him, and there's literally an option where you start torturing him with AJ.
I'm trying to remember. Is this Lily from season one?
Yeah, she comes back in season 4.
Oh yeah, and she's leading the people on the boat.
Yeah, Abel is her number 2, and you capture him and you torture him with AJ.
Is he the one that make like either hurt what's her name, Violet or Louis?
First off, the boy's name is Lewis.
Lewis, whatever.
I mean, it's a different name.
It's spelled the same.
It's Lewis.
Fine.
Um,
I'm gonna I'm gonna let you decide on this one because I honestly don't remember a ton about this guy.
that's fine. Um, I think Abel should go above Vernon, but below Walter because he's a piece of shit, but he's a lot more interesting than Vernon, and he's way less of a pussy than Vernon, but he's not kind-hearted like Walter, so he can go middle of C. Because he's definitely Abel's not meh. He's like when he's on screen, you're paying attention. Clementine, goaded, obviously. Um, I mean, say what you. I don't know. I'll let you say something for like 60 seconds about Clem, but she's a great character. There's a reason why this show, not show, why this game series did so well. She was a major part of it. Lee was awesome, but they were able to get rid of him and keep it rolling with Clementine. And season 2 was, I think, on par with season 1 for me with how good it was. Drops off after that significantly, especially when Skybound's takeover. Um, R.I.P. Telltale. But Clementine is, I think that she does a lot for the strong female archetype because I think that that can be so easily done wrong. And Clementine's was done in a way where it wasn't shoved down your throat. It's not constantly referenced that she's a girl. She just is cool and just is badass. You don't need to know her gender or anything like that. Like, she doesn't lean into it at all. She just is Clementine. And I think that that's awesome. And I think that's what makes a really good character.
I completely agree. Like her being male, female, girl, boy, it has nothing to do with her character. I mean, it's very organic, and her power comes from the fact that she is a walking, breathing badass in every sense of the word. And I think one of the reasons that she's the best, maybe the best character in terms one of the favorites at least, is because of how much you see her fleshed out and how much like you see her as this scared little girl. And even in season one, she learns so much, goes through one of the worst, probably one of the worst choices that you have to make in the game at the end of season one. What's the nickname that Lee has for her? Um,
Sweet pea.
Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea. And I'm like, he's like, you know what to do, Sweet Pea. Oh, heartbreaking moment. I mean, she's fantastic. And I truly, truly love at in season four, you see like she finally reaches a point where like she's like in somewhat of a stable area, and you can see her finally after seeing her be an absolute rock hard badass for three like even as a kid she was a badass for like a girl her age, anyone her age, being that tough, badass. But you finally see cracks in the armor start to form a little bit as she like takes a step back and opens up and starts trusting people a little bit more. And I think that just makes her an even better character. Goated all the way.
Back to back goats because you know who's next.
Who are we putting on top?
Lee. I'll say this right off the bat. I think that Lee, for me, does go above Clementine. You spend a lot more time with her, you do. And that's a part of it because you spend when you spend the same amount of time with Lee and Clementine in season one, and there's an obvious answer. It gets less obvious as you get to know Clementine more, but I say think of the power and how incredible a character Lee must be to be at the point where you can spend 4 seasons with Clementine and still be like, oh, I'm not sure if I like her more than Lee after all that time, and you only had 5 episodes with him. He was going to jail for murder and basically destroyed the tendons in his leg, found some random little girl, and then dedicated the rest of his life to a stranger's child. He met this little girl, said, fuck it. I have a responsibility, can't let a kid die. Do you know how few people would do that? Like, so few, especially ones that were about to be a convicted criminal of all people.
Well, I will say this. Two things. One, if I'm not mistaken, Lee was a professor, right? At a university. I believe of ethics or something of that sort, right? Or
No,
is
it
it
was he was a
unspecified?
professor at Athens. Like that was the name of the college or some shit.
Okay. Unspecified. But A and B, the reason why he killed someone is a very like I'm not saying reasonable, but understandable reason. It's not like he was a cold blooded killer. Like it was a crime of passion because he found his wife cheating and he killed both of them.
No, I think he just killed
That's
the one person who happened to be a state senator as well. So
right. Yeah. So he was screwed. But I mean, yeah. And it is like Clementine, I think he looks at her like kind of his penance in a way, like his way to like, okay, this is how I'm going to pay for my crime because he knew he'd like in his own mind, he talks about it. Like, and I think that he's a beautiful character. He's so strong, so well written. When I say strong, I do not mean physically. He is, but that's not the point. Like he shows grit and determination through, like you said, in circumstances that pretty much no one else would, and that takes incredible moral fiber. Very well written character, incredible.
so goaded it is. Next
Top
we
top
have
goated.
um I believe this is Minerva, also known as Minnie from season 4. She sucks. You don't even know who she is. That's fine. We're not going to even waste time talking about her. She doesn't deserve it. I'll give you the quick rundown. One of 10 sisters. She gets captured by Lily, gets changed into a soldier. When given the opportunity to leave, she refuses, stays loyal to Lily. Um, ends up getting bitten and going crazy. And overall, she sucks. She's not cool. Don't like her. She is better than Bree though, because Bree's insufferable. Next is Rosie. I'm pretty sure her name is Rosie. Also, season
Rosie.
4. Rosie is cooler than the other dog, and she's Clementine's dog. She was Marlin's. And I think that Rosie gets.
I say A tier.
I mean, I mean,
Bottom.
I mean, no.
Fuck you.
I can't realistically put the dog above. Like, there's gonna end up being a lot of people in B that I can't justify putting an animal over all of them. Like right now, Ben and Eleanor, like fine, but there's gonna end up being other people in there that it doesn't make sense. I think she makes much more sense being in C, and we can put her above AJ because she's more enjoyable on screen, but there's it doesn't make sense. Like I get it, like what you're doing, but she is a dog at the end of the day.
Saying she is a dog as if that's like justification for her not being an incredible character. Some of the best like written movies and stories are, guess what, about dogs.
Okay, but they're not
All
about
dogs go
Rosie.
to heaven. They're not about Rosie.
They're not. You can't reference them because they're not. That's like if I was
Whatever,
referencing
fine.
Leonardo DiCaprio as a great actor and then throwing you in the same category just because. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm a cool guy.
Rosie's going to be in C because not
Fine.
just scrap that reasoning, scrap her being a dog. She's not on screen that often. Like most of the time when she's on screen, it's just you going like this and petting her, and she has a couple cool zombie kills, and that's it. So she'll be in C. I'm gonna put her above AJ to make you happy. So she's leading the pack in C.
I
Oh,
see what you
oh,
did there.
yes, thank you. Next is Krista.
I
Krista,
like Krista.
I think Krista's a solid B. Um, I would season 1 Krista only. I'd put her A, but season 2 Krista, I didn't. You could tell that she subconsciously blamed Clementine for Omid's death, even though it wasn't really her
Mhm,
fault, and she
mhm,
treated Clementine poorly because of it, and it was very obvious. And it also was made obvious she still cared about Clementine, but
mhm.
she resented her in a way. And that bothered me because I think Omid would not have done that. And I do think the worst of her was brought out because of his death. But that's why I think she should confidently lead B.
I like that. I agree with that. She's, in my opinion, a good character. Like she has her moments, and I think that to be fair, like it's really hard to be in a literal zombie fucking apocalypse and not have the worst part of you brought out, especially if like the one person you still cared about dies. Like, and I think that more than anything, that like I don't think that she resents Clementine. I think that she sees Clementine and is reminded of Omid, and that just makes her bitter.
She was also pregnant. We don't know what happened to the baby, though. Never revealed.
Yeah,
Um,
strong B.
okay, Chuck.
Don't remember Chuck. Or wait,
Yeah,
do I? Oh, no.
he was the guy with the shovel.
Cool guy, real cool guy.
He's
Not
A.
on screen very much.
He's A tier. He's very cool. He is a random stranger that ends up joining a group, and having known like the crew only for like maybe a day or two, or let's give him benefit of the doubt. Let's say he knew them for a week, puts his life on the line to save Clementine, and then ends up dying. So
Mm-hmm.
Chuck is really cool. I say put him in A. Um, Personally, I think he's cooler than Omid, but that's just me. I'll let you decide above or below Omid.
I think he's cooler, but he's not as good of a character.
Okay.
I think because you just you don't flesh him out as much.
Yeah, he's not around for long, but he makes a decent impact while he is. Um, Next, this guy's from 400 Days. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, yes, yeah, he's from 400 Days. He's one of the prisoners on the bus. Alexon, don't even try to remember.
I was about to say we didn't play that, did we?
Oh no, we
I
didn't
don't think
play
we.
for. I'll just rank all of them. That'll make it go faster, actually. This guy is irrelevant in my opinion. Um, but he's the most relevant of all the irrelevant characters. So we can just move on. Next is Doug.
Uh,
We didn't really play him much. Well, you didn't because we saved Carly and not him. He's the nerdy guy. We let him die though because we saved Carly.
I
So
remember that.
Doug is an
Man,
AV tech nerd, and he's cool. It sucks that I feel like most people end up picking Carly, and Doug dies, and it sucks. And if you keep him around, he's fine too. He makes a sound trap for the base if you don't kill him, and that's useful. Um, Overall, though, I think Doug is. I think he would lead the seas. He's a very average but not sucky guy.
I'm gonna have to take your word on this because I really don't remember him at all.
Yeah, you didn't see much. The reason I remember people like him so much is cause I played it so many times. But I think that's a solid spot for him. Marlin is next. What's your opinion on this? You tell me where you think he should go.
Marlon's kind of a shithead, but he's kind of like he's kind of cool as well. He's kind of a badass. He is a shithead. Dies rather quickly. Um, I would honestly put him bottom of B. He sucks, but that's kind of the whole point. And he is cool. Objectively, he is cool.
Oh, I can see it. I'd put him above Eleanor though, man. She's got way
Really?
more to him. Yeah, Eleanor's kind of like watching paint dry. Like you painted the wall and like you're happy you did it because you wanted to change the color. But now what's left? You're over it quickly. But it's not
I like
bad.
that.
You wanted that. It's a good thing, but it's not exactly the most interesting. Marlin is interesting. So, I'm good with that. Not bottom of B, but right above Eleanor and behind Ben because Ben's way more fleshed out than Marlin. Um,
Oh boy.
oh boy,
Ah,
gonna
duck.
gonna get some hate for this one because my gut reaction is to throw him in Sucky. I mean,
Bottom.
I don't like him, man. Like
He's just as snotty nosed as AJ is. AJ is useful. Duck is not.
AJ, there's another difference. Yeah, AJ can handle himself. Duck is only a burden. Like I said, AJ is a burden most of the time and feels that way and he's annoying, but he can be useful and he does know how to survive more or less. Duck though, man. I mean, he's just a kid, I get it, but he annoyed the shit out of me.
In here.
So I want to put him in Sucky.
Agreed. Where?
Um Leading it.
Okay.
The other two in there, it wouldn't be fair for him to be below them. I think that Duck is perfectly chill and Sucky. The next girl's from 400 Days. Um, she, in my opinion, is irrelevant. Um, okay, Javi's brother.
I believe his name is what was it? Give me a second here. Max?
Nah, I don't think so. Doesn't matter. Let's
David.
talk about him.
David.
Oh, David. Yes, that sounds right. David.
Where did you put the last one, by the way, just so I can keep track?
Duck. Duck is
Sure.
leading. Oh,
No,
the
not
other
Duck.
girl.
The
She's an irrelevant, but this is David.
David. I
He's
Here's my
interesting.
opinion on David.
Go ahead.
I would put him as a leading B. He's a good character. He is an ass, but he is a badass. He is strong-willed, serves the plot a great deal. I like he's hard ass and he sucks, but I like him. He's very well written. He the purpose he has a purpose in the story and he executes that purpose like excellently. Like really, really well. I would put him atop a B.
Um, you know what? I'm not. I When I first glanced at him, I wouldn't have put him that high. But your explanation, I accept, and I shall put him there. I'll give you this one. That's fair. Um. Oh. Oh. We've run into another character I instantly think is sucky. Gabe.
Oh, Gabe's Javi's like kid or David's kid or
David's
something
son.
like that,
David's
right?
son. He is
Stinky dude boy.
worse than Duck for me, man. Like Duck at least was a kid. Gabe was like older and sucked a lot. Like he he was so annoying, man. I remember like I wanted to not hate him as much as I did, but I was like, this kid just sucks.
So bratty. How are you gonna be this bratty in a zombie apocalypse?
And listen, you want to say, hey, he's going through puberty, whatever. Him and his sister were twins, and she was sweet and loving and awesome. His sister was great, and Gabe was not
Mariana?
great. Mariana, yeah. Um, Gabe wasn't, and they were the same age, so you can't blame it on age. He could have been nice like she was, and he wasn't. So Gabe is going in sucky.
Where?
Below Duck.
Okay.
And then that brings us to Sir Javi.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Javi is an S tier.
Um, yes, I agree. I definitely put him over Chuck and Omid. He is the main character of season 3, and Javi is cool. He's not incredibly interesting. There's plenty of season 1 side characters more interesting than Javi, but I think you have to put him in S. Also, a lot of his personality is dictated by the player. Um, so yes, I think S tier is appropriate. There's not much I really need to say about Javi. I think that Telltale went a
You,
weird direction, having you not play as Clementine in season 3 and play as Javi instead. I don't know what they were thinking. That was strange, and it set their company on a bad path. They should have just made you play as
I, would,
Clementine.
I can see what you're saying. I like Javi because he's a rock solid dude, and he didn't have any of his shit figured out when the zombie apocalypse happened, and then it happened, and he got his shit together expeditiously. Like he was so fast. And then he's like, what, taking care of his brother's kids? And like, I mean, yeah, obviously you should do that, but he goes above and beyond, really, really tries. And like, even when his brother is being like bad, he's still like, and this is largely up to your own decisions, but he's good. Takes in Clementine. It's good to Clementine, which I really like. I love him. He's a great character. I liked him a lot. I remember just thinking, wow, I like this guy, like a lot. S tier. Kate. I would also say S tier. He's cool.
Yeah,
I like.
she's not though. That's like,
Really?
are you
Am
trying
I?
to like saturate the tier and make it useless?
No. I just remember liking her.
Remembering you like someone doesn't mean they're S tier. Um,
It helps.
I think that she was nice and she was fine. She wasn't a bad person, but she didn't have much of a character there. She was like, I put her David above her because he was, first off, his loose cannonness was very interesting and well written. Basically, all the reasons you used for David, and David being above her means she has to be B or less. And I think that she would be um, below Ben, above Marlin, because she's in the story for the whole time and she's fleshed out, kind of, but she doesn't go through that much growth overall, in my opinion. So that puts her ahead of Marlin, but below Ben because Ben had he was one of those season one beautifully written, real life kind of people characters. Kate didn't have that much. She just didn't.
I remember that now that you're saying it. I liked her. I think I liked her because she was just nice, and there weren't any really nice people, which is definitely part of it. But I like that. I think we can move on to who I believe is Trip.
Yeah, Trip is next. Zon, got to be very clear. Trip is not S tier.
I wasn't gonna put him in S tier.
All right, go ahead.
I was gonna put him. I was gonna put him probably above Kate.
All right, go ahead. Well, I agree with you, so go ahead.
Trip's cool. He's like rock solid, dude. Big guy, works with his hands. Pretty like really like when like Prescott comes under attack, he kicks it into high gear. He's not a no nonsense guy like Kenny is, but he knows how to like pull it together when shit hits the fan. And he shows that. And like Eleanor dies rather quickly, if I'm not or no, does Trip die?
Trip's death
I believe
is
Trip dies.
possible. It depends on your decisions.
I don't know. I just remember like him like really pulling it together, being a good dude. He helps you out. He helps out Clementine or Javi. I can't remember which one when you're in Prescott. Like he's a rock solid dude. Don't see him a lot, but I'm not gonna put him in S tier. I'm not that ridiculous, but I would put him above Kate, but below Ben.
I agree. I'm totally cool with that placement. I think it makes sense. Um, Next we have Glenn, and well, Glenn is. I'm trying not to use the show because he's amazing in the show. I'm trying to just think of him in the game, in which case, honestly, he's completely irrelevant. He's in the story just kind of as like a cool little Easter egg, and then he's gone and never returns or is referenced ever again. So there's no reason he'll lead the irrelevant tier because he's awesome in the show, but he doesn't serve any purpose to the game at all.
I can agree. I don't remember him at all.
Um, Alvin,
Alvin.
Alvin.
I think he's an A tier character.
Um,
He's a cool guy.
yeah, I think so too. Alvin was unapologetically himself. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't really, he wasn't like a hardened guy. He was soft and he folded for Clementine when she asked him for help. Um, and he somehow fathered a super, super annoying kid, but unless it's
Yeah.
Carver's, who
Well,
knows?
I think we know how that happened.
Yeah, Alvin, I don't think we need to say much more, but I'm good to put Alvin in A tier. Um, I would put him between Chuck and Omid.
I like that.
And then we
This
have
is
Carlos.
I remember his name. I don't remember a deal about him, unfortunately.
Carlos was the doctor Sarah's father.
Oh, he was a good guy, wasn't he? He was a cool guy, wasn't he?
Um,
I don't
yeah,
remember a lot about him.
yeah, we don't need to stay on him for long. he was cool-ish. He didn't have too much going on about him. I think he would be fine to put um, between Walter and AJ in C. He's fairly average, but he's not meh. Um, okay. Next, Carver.
He's impeccable villain.
S. I say instant S.
I agree. I would agree. I would
Like,
strongly agree.
bro, I say S above Javi, personally.
I would agree.
Like I really think Carver has to be above Javi there because like he is it's like they made you I don't know if you ever watched the Walking Dead show or read the comics, but there's the villain the governor. Carver reminds
Yeah,
me
yeah.
of the governor heavily, and it's like it's almost as if they modeled him after the governor but still somehow made him completely different and his own thing. Carver is what part of what makes the fact that Carver and Kenny are introduced in the same episode together just makes the season so incredible because Carver is an awesome villain, someone that you love to hate, like a Negan, also from The Walking Dead. Um, yes, he's S tier. Carver is awesome. What a great villain.
I have something to say about this next guy if I remember him correctly.
Yes, I don't remember his name, but he gets pushed off a roof.
Reggie.
Reggie, yes, that is his name.
Meh. Meh as it gets.
Yeah, I agree. I think he would lead the meh because he was a really nice guy and pretty cool, but yeah, he didn't really bring anything to the table. He got left behind by the cabin group and he lost his arm and he got pushed off a roof because Sarah didn't know how to cut bushes. Um, next, this guy's from 400 Days and he is I actually don't find him to be irrelevant or sucky, but he's meh. Um, he's in between Ava and Brody.